Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. I don't know why I went overtime. I don't know what happened when I think it went a little overtime. So it's 4:03. We started 3 minutes a little bit over. But I just wanted to welcome you once again to another edition of our Mighty Marvel, our Marvelous Academy, where we get to draw one of our Mighty Marvel characters. And today we're going to be drawing Blitz. I have Farmer Blitz, but there's Farmer Blitz, which we drew before, and then it's the same person. It's just that Blitz was dressed up in a farmer's suit. But we're going to be drawing Blitz, and I'll try and pull up her picture so that at least you can see what you're drawing. Actually, what I can do is show you where we're going to be heading. So I'll put it in the camera. So this is so that at least you can see who we're drawing. And this is where we're going to be heading. That's who we're going to draw. So just her head, and usually with Blitz, she always has her eyes well, the ones that we drew, her eyes were closed. So you're going to need a pencil and a paper, and at the same time, what we're going to do is learn how to sketch. So if you have never learned how to sketch with me, you basically want to make sure that you're using your whole entire arm when you're sketching. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Use your whole entire arm when you're sketching, because when you're sketching, you want everything loose, and draw as light as possible when you're sketching. You want to make sure that you're not drawing dark. Now, I'm going to draw dark so you can see, but don't draw as dark as me. Draw as light as possible, because here's the principle. You can always draw darker, but you can never draw lighter. You might be thinking, well, what can I erase? Well, that's the whole point to sketching. You really don't erase when you're sketching. That's what sketching is all about. You're getting a basic idea of what you're going to be doing, and then you're going to be inking. And inking is when you outline your drawing. So you want to sketch as light as possible so that by the time you ink, you're able to go over your sketch so that your sketching fades in the background. And then at that point, if you want to, you can erase your sketching. But we're going to start sketching, and again with sketching, draw as light as possible. And this character, Blitz, as you can see in the description, Blitz is the type of person. I hope my camera doesn't go away. Let me just read her description. So Blitz, she's the twin of Boom, and if you were able to draw Boom before, then you know who I'm talking about. If not, go back to one of our character drawings or our Marvelous Academy drawings of Boom in our playlist, and then you can draw him also. But her ability, Blitz's ability, is that with a harp and bow and arrow, she sends shockwaves that are shockwaves reverberating light. So she usually has a lightning bolt in her hand, but her character comes out of the book of Revelation in the Bible, Revelation 14:2, and it says this: "And I heard a sound from heaven like the roar of rushing waters, and like a sound, and like a peal of thunder, a loud peal of thunder. Excuse me. The sound I heard was like that of harpists playing their harps." So that's Blitz. She has that ability, and then that's how evil is defeated. It's through that avenue of the harp that she plays, the music that she plays. And so sometimes knowing how God has wired you up and how he has created you helps when you need to do certain things. And the reason why we come out of the book of Psalms, chapter 139, verse 14, is because God says that you are fearlessly and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works. We're saying that to God. Marvelous are your works, and my soul knows that very well. So that's why we have what we call Mighty Marvels, and that's why we have Marvelous Academy. Okay, so let's get into drawing. Let's start sketching, and we're going to draw a circle, just a regular circle. Now, this is my paper. I'll bring it in. You see those marks? I put some marks so that you kind of know where to stay within. And so stay within these marks right here. That's on your paper. Don't draw these marks on your paper. If this is your paper, stay within that, because her hair is going to be big. So you're going to go on the left side of the page and just draw a circle just like that, just a basic circle. And then you're going to draw this line. I'll blow it up so you can see. This line is going to be again, draw as light as possible. I'm drawing dark so you can see it, but draw as light as possible. This line is going to separate her face, and we're going to look at her face from an angle, like a 3/4 view, which means that this straight on is the frontal, side is side, and this is 3/4. So you can see a little bit of this side and all of this side. So it's a 3/4 view. So that's what we're doing. So you're going to kind of divide it like that. And then you're going to also divide it this way. And the reason why we're curving it is because you want to go along the curvature of the face. Her face is round. I keep hitting this thing. That's okay. I'll just leave it there. So that's why you curve it a little bit. Now you're going to have to choose one of those lines to be where her eyes are going to be. Now divide this bottom part and this part right here, and you're going to draw another line. And then a circle on the inside, actually kind of an oval. That's going to be her ear. Now with BLITZ, if you divide this like this, so almost like 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, you evenly space it, but just a little bigger on this side. You see from here to here, from here to here. This side is a little bigger because on the 3/4 view, you're going to see a whole lot more of this side of the face than this side. And I know it's opposite on the paper, but you'll catch it. So draw very lightly. I'm just drawing dark so you can see it, okay? And then from here, this is where the eyes are going to be. So you're going to take her eye. So this is on the outside of her eye. Actually, you know what you can do, because her eyes are going to be big, use this line as a reference to kind of the middle of her eye, and kind of like a smiley shape like that, or her eyes are going to be big. And that's just the vague shape. So draw very light. You're going to bring in her eyeballs in here. Again, I'm drawing dark so you can see, but you draw it very light, okay? So, okay. So now you're going to bring in her nose, and her nose is going to be kind of down right here. Just like that. And her nose is kind of like the back side of a heel, of your heel. So just draw it in like that. You're going to bring a smiley line kind of where her eye lines up to around here. And then her smile, her top lip. So you're going to have her lip come like this. Just bring it right around. So it almost looks like a little fish. But this is her smile line. And then you're going to drop her mouth down, come up and around. Just like that. Now this part doesn't have to be curved that high. I went a little bit too much, but that's why we're sketching. We can always correct it. And then this is going to curve in like that. You can bring in her tongue. If I'm going too fast, you can always pause it and then come back. And then her hair. So her hair is going to come down almost to her nose, but it's going to come to a point. So it's going to point right here. You're going to come up. And then you're going to bring it right to the back side of her ear. I made her eyes a little bit too high. But that's okay. I can fix it a little bit more when I start inking. This would be a good time to fix it. You know, I think her eyes should come a little bit more down. But again, I can fix it afterwards, but that's why we sketch. This hair, this piece is going to come this way. Little bug. And it's going to be her hair. It's going to come up. And then on this side, that's why we needed this much space, is because her hair on this side is going to be very big. So come outside of the circle. Come outside of this circle. and up and just touch the top. So you're going to have her hair come like this. It's going to come up a little bit of hair coming out, and it's very pointy, her hair. You're going to have a couple strands like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be big hair. She has big hair. Okay, now once that's finalized, now we have her ponytail. So this is where it's going to come in. And some people's ponytails are big. You can make it as big as you want. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to make it like that. That's her ponytail. She actually has a bow, a ribbon on her head. So you can make two. It's almost like upside down teardrops. So it's oval, but it comes to a point. And then you're going to draw just a line in the middle to show that the ribbon is wrapping. See, I need to bring her eyes a little bit more down. And this area, her hair is going to be like this. But this is going to come to a point here for her chin. And it's going to come around like this. So I can already see her eyes are way too high. I should have brought it down a little bit more. But I can correct it in the I'm going to make this lighter, in the inking. So we're going to go to inking. And this is where you can bring in, that's why you should draw light, so that by the time you ink, you can draw over your sketch. Your sketch should be very, very light. Now I'm on my iPad, so I can make it very, very light. So now when it comes to the inking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some things, and you can do that if you want to also. I just need to bring everything down a little bit. It's just way too high. And I should have drew this middle line a little bit lower, because her eyes should be somewhere down here. Like that, in that area. So I'm going to move it down there. Now you might be thinking, well, how does that help me? Learn from my mistakes. So that's going to be it. And then she's going to have some eyelashes. 1, 2, 3 eyelashes. And then of course her eye. Draw her pupil or her eye in there. And then her other one in there. And you can use something to make it a circle. And I can see it's a little crooked. It should have a little bit more on this side. Okay. So that's going to be her eyes. Still a little too high. So now her nose needs to come down a little bit more too. So that's going to be her nose. Then her mouth is going to have to come down too. So as you can see, I had to adjust and use my sketch as my guideline, not the actual. I should have corrected it in the sketch. It would have been better. And I forgot to sketch her eyebrows. I missed her eyebrows. So you can always go back to your sketch, which is what I'm going to do. Get my pencil and then sketch in her eyebrows. If her hair is going to be here, then her eyebrow is kind of thick. So that's going to be her eyebrow, just like that. It's going to be hidden behind the other part of her hair. So at least I know where I'm going to be with her eyebrows. Then once I'm done with that part of the inking, now I can do her hair. And this part, again, the sketch is so I can find, excuse me, I didn't change my pen. So I'm going to draw her hair. And her hair can come down wherever you need it to be. And I'm going to make it just like that. That's where her hair comes down. Then I'm going to draw 1, 2, and then it goes behind her ear. Bring in her eyebrow, and then you can bring in her ear. Now her ear, it's going to be just like that. And you can connect it if you want to with the bottom part of her jawbone, which is going to be here. And then there. You can draw a tiny little bottom part of her lip just to accentuate the bottom part. And then you're going to put in that earlobe part. And then this is going to connect the back of her hair. And you can even connect it like that. And leave a small space for her ponytail to connect. This is where you're going to draw the big part of her hair. It comes to a point. And this part also comes to a point. Very pointy, her hair, as you can see. But that's her hair. That's Blitz. Draw her ponytail. Pointed. Up like that. Then bring in the ribbon. Same thing with this side. And the reason why I can go pretty fast is because I already drew in my sketch. So I already know where everything is. I'm just going over it. Even on her ponytail, you can bring in some lines here and there, like I guess that can work. Just some lines that would show that there's hair there. Okay, that's her head. That's what we're looking like. I hope yours is turning out okay. Now we can go to the colors. And I already have colors for Blitz. And these are her colors. I just forget what color her... I wonder if I have a drawing of her. Or a picture of her. I'm sure I do somewhere. Just so that I can get the right colors. I don't want to get the wrong colors, but that's okay. Yeah, and in fact, you can choose whatever color you want, but this is the normal color that she would have. So we call it the flats, the color flats. So we're going to bring in her hair, and her hair is kind of like a lavender almost, a light lavender. Yeah. And then her face, of course, is a flesh tone. So you can color in her face. Her lip, the top part of her lip is going to be a different color, almost like a pink-ish color. And then, of course, her tongue is going to be red. So you can color that in. And, oh, excuse me, her tongue. And you're going to color in. I missed this. This is supposed to be white. And the reason why I missed it is because I didn't close the line. You see this line right here? It's supposed to be closed. Let me just do that. And close this line here. There. Now I can go with white and color in that area white. Oh, excuse me. Colored in the wrong part. It's supposed to be that. And that. Same thing here. Those are white. I missed her other eyebrow. Did I not draw her other eyebrow? I think I'm going too fast. I'm going too fast for me. So I gotta slow down. Slow down, LACSINA, slow down. Okay, color in her eyebrow. Or fill in her eyebrow. And then with her eyebrow is a different color purple. So it's a little darker. Is that the right color purple? Wow. We'll see. See what it looks like. I don't know. What do you think? It looks almost the same. Let me try a darker purple. Now let's try this one. Colored in the whole picture. Okay, let's try that. See what it looks like. That's a little better. Okay. And then we're going to color in her mouth area. And that's going to be a darker red. So because it's in her mouth, it's a little darker. Perfect. And then her bows. Now you can color her bow whatever you want it to be. I'm just going to make it orange. But you can use whatever color you want. There. That's what it's looking like so far. Not bad. Now let's bring in some shading. And with the shading, this is where, for you, just remember where your light source is. So if your light source is coming from this direction, then all of the shading is going to be on the other side of her face. So it's going to be all on this side or under here, and you're going to see where it is. Just make sure you catch the right spots. Now I'm going to use like a gray. You can use whatever color is darker. For instance, if this is purple or like a lavender color, you want to use like a purple or a blue to shade where her hair is, because then you have a different color, a darker color, that will show a little bit of a shading effect. And then this side, it's all on the back side where, you know, the light is not hitting. So the light is going to cast these shadows. It's supposed to hit the shadows. Am I on the right? Flats, shadows. There you go. Wrong layer. It's amazing technology. Okay, so you want to catch the right areas. This hair is going to cast a shadow here on her face. So you want to do, why does it keep doing that? Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to choose the shadows. It keeps automatically choosing the wrong layer. I don't want to confuse you. Basically, it keeps choosing the flats. Okay, here we go. Keep going. See, it's choosing the wrong one. Okay, getting there. This side of her face is going to have shading also. And then the underneath part. Move your paper around if you have to. It makes it more comfortable with where your hands are, where your hand is, and then it just feels more comfortable. So it keeps doing that. I need to change the setting. And here, even under there, here, maybe on the bottom side of her lip, inside of her mouth with her tongue. Where else do we need shadow? Maybe under her eyebrows. We don't want too much. That way her eyebrows don't look too thick. We don't have too thick of an eyebrows for her, of an eyebrow for her. Okay, how are we looking? I hope yours is looking okay. And then, what else are we doing? Oh, her hair. So, just to add depth in her hair, you're going to want to bring in some shading also for her hair. And use whatever colors you can. If you have purple, a darker purple for her hair, then use that for your shading. If you have gray, use that. If you do use like a black crayon or pencil, just go very light, especially with shading. You don't want to go too dark, because once you darken it, it's hard to make it lighter. If anything, you want to make your shading very light, so that if it's too light, you can always come back in and make it darker. But you can't do it the other way. You can't make it darker, or make it darker and then try to make it lighter after that. By then it's a little too late. So you want to make sure that it's good to go. Under here should have some shadow. Just a little bit. Put in a little bit here. That's my accent for today. I do not know what the accent is. Okay, how we looking, guys? Hope you're doing good. I'm hungry. I'm actually thirsty. Maybe I should take a drink of water. Maybe you should too. That's pretty much what it's looking like so far. I'm going to erase the sketch in the background so I can clean it up a little bit. Okay, let's put in some highlights. So the highlights, if you can, then use a white pencil. You can still use like a white crayon, but it won't be as dominant and vibrant as this white that I'm using. Because I'm doing it digitally, you're going to be able to see it a whole lot clearer. but that's just the way it is. And so again, remember where your light source is, and because my light source is coming from this side, all of the highlights will be on the top side of her head. It's not too bright, just enough to show what is called depth. You want a little depth. Just enough to show or accentuate some highlights. Oops, excuse me, highlights, there. Just a little bit. Just like that. Highlight lip area, cheek, bottom, nose, and maybe even right under her eyes. Just a little bit like that. I actually went outside. If you zoom in, you can see the bottom of her eye. I can erase it, but I gotta leave it because you can't erase ink. So I just have to deal with it. And that's okay. You find a way to fix it. What we could do also is go back to inking, and we could even do this. Put a little smile line underneath, like that. Just to brings a little bit more joy, or the look of joy. And then of course, you can always highlight the eye. I do that. Let me make it a little darker or bigger. Just like that. Puts a little glare or like a little shimmy in her eyes. Okay, did I highlight? I didn't highlight her her bow tie, or what do you call that? Is it called ribbons? Ribbons on the little girls when they wear these things in their hair. Ribbons, right? I don't have daughters or granddaughters. I have grandsons and sons. So I didn't have that. Okay, and then of course the highlights on her tongue, just like that. And we are done. That is Blitz. That's what Blitz looks like. Good job, you guys. I hope it's looking good. If anything, tag us on NH Marvelous Kids through Instagram and let us know how it looks. And always join us, or we're always here Thursdays at 4 o'clock, and we'll do our Marvelous Academy Draw with Me. And if you wanna learn how to draw something else, let me know. But for the most part, we do Marvelous Academy so that we can learn how to draw the Marvel characters, or Marvelous, Mighty Marvel characters, as well as to stay connected with you, and then to remind you that you are fearlessly and wonderfully made. Marvelous is God's work, which is you, and your soul knows it very well. So continue to learn, continue to grow, and I hope you're doing well during this season. Don't worry, it's not always going to be like this with COVID and being at home with your classroom setting. But for the time being, make the best out of the situation, and then stay close to God. All right, God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day, and always stay marvelous. Take care.